Hi everybody, welcome back. Before we dive in, I just want to say the title of this video explains it all. This is super fundamental. I think this is one of the most fundamental ideas or basic philosophies to really learning who you are. Learning to really separate yourself from the mind. It's not just some philosophical idea that I would like to bring to light or touch on. It's actually one of the most important things you can do if you want more peace, more clarity, more freedom. So if you've ever felt trapped in your own thoughts, what I'm about to say might help. Again, title of this video, You Are Not Your Mind. Okay. And again, I'd like to bring some ideas from different things that I've read, different, spiritual figures. First one being Eckhart Tolle. He says, he calls it the stream of thinking, right? The voice in your head that comments, speculates, judges, likes, dislikes, this, that, blah, blah, blah in your everyday life, right? And we take those, we take that and we take it to we believe that to be who we are, right? He says the beginning of freedom is the realization that you are not the thinker, right? And then he also touches on the idea in The Power of Now. He touches on the idea of calling it the watcher, like the watcher behind your thoughts. Like, here's the thought that says, I'm a piece of shit, like, I'm a failure, whatever. And then there's this like, there's this like figure or like there's this conscious entity or whatever but that's who you are, like that entity, the awareness behind the thought, or there's a thought and then there's something that says that's something that's watching the thought, right? It's something that's being more aware or like really just kind of consciously realizing that I am thinking these thoughts. Um, because most people are completely fused with their thoughts. They don't have thoughts, they are their thoughts, right? The reality is, thoughts are just thoughts. They're not reality, they're not the truth, and they're ultimately not who you are, right? If the mind, because when the mind says, I'm not good enough, what do? They believe that they're not good enough. When the mind says something bad is going to happen, what happens? They feel anxiety in their body because they assume it's the truth. Just because a thought appears doesn't mean it's true. I'm going to repeat that. Just because a thought appears does not mean it's true. You're giving them way more power than they deserve to have. They're not reality, they're not the truth, and they're ultimately not who you are. It's a projection, a commentary, a cloud passing through the sky of your awareness, if you want to get into spiritual lingo. Um, Jeff Foster also puts it beautifully, right? He says, You are not the storm. You are not the storm. You are the space for the storm. As in, all thoughts, all feelings are allowed. You are the space, right? The mind will say a million things today that it'll tell you that you're failing, that you're broken, that you're behind, that others are ahead of you. But beneath all that noise, there's something that doesn't change, right? That which hears the thought, that which is aware of the thought that I'm not enough, right? It's just about the noticing. The noticing is the most important thing, the most crucial thing that you can do, right? And even when the mind and it's a democracy too, though, all thoughts are allowed, even the most like even the most uncomfortable thoughts, even the sad thoughts, the angry thoughts, even when they're dark, irrational, or heavy, they're still just thoughts. You guys are giving your mind too much credit. You're giving them way too much power over you. You don't need to panic every time it says something scary. And you don't even need to label it as right or wrong. You just be like, oh yeah, here's that thought. It's like you have to think of your brain or mind as like a 5-year-old child. Would you believe a 5-year-old child if he told you you were a failure? The answer is of course not. Of course not. You gotta think of it the same thing as your mind. You gotta be like, oh yeah, here's that thought again. Oh yeah, I'm a piece of shit. I'm a failure. So what? You know what I'm saying? You have to completely be indifferent to whatever your mind is telling you. This can take a lot of practice. This can take some time to really fully comprehend, and even I still, when times are tough, it's harder for sure. But once the seed has been planted, there's really no going back. Um, you know, Again, Jeff Foster, he talks about, he's the one I'm, saying when he's the one I'm talking about, who says even the uncomfortable thoughts are allowed, right? You don't have to follow every idea or, your brain throws at you. You don't have to believe every narrative it creates, right? And this is where Stoicism really comes in too, right? The Stoics, they didn't believe that it's not events or thoughts that cause us pain. It's how we judge them. It's our judgments about what we believe, you know, it's how we label our thoughts that really causes the pain, Seneca says we suffer more in our imagination than we do in reality, right? And that's that's insanely true, right? Most of the stuff that searches us out isn't even real. It's imagined. It's not even real. It's a projection of what might happen, right? Or a replay of something that has already passed. Stoics taught that the thought itself isn't the problem, it's the meaning we attach to it. This is a bad thought. We label it as bad. We label it as, there's something, that means there's something wrong with me. But here's what I want to say, regardless of the judgment, even if you judge it as bad, right? Objectively, like crashing your car is not a good thing, right? But, thoughts are just thoughts. They don't, again, I want to define thoughts are just thoughts. They don't define you. They're not reality. They're not the truth. They're not who you are. You got to stop giving it so much power. Okay. Your mind's going to talk. That's what it's designed to do. Okay. You were never, I hear there's this misconception behind meditation where you got to silence the mind. No, 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 no. It's been watered down. That's not what meditation, I mean, I'm reading Zen's Mind, Beginner's Mind, right now. And it talks about, how it's not really even about focusing on the breath. The breath is just kind of like one of those things to point back to, but you just got to let the mind wander. You should never tell your thoughts to shut up or to be quiet, because that's not what it's designed to do, right? It's going to play, it's going to predict, it's going to judge. That's its job. But just because your brain says something doesn't mean you have to believe it. That's the core principle behind this video. Just because your brain says something doesn't mean you have to believe it. You don't have to silence the mind. You just have to learn to see it for what it is, a storyteller. That's all it is. And not every story needs your energy. Not every story needs to be believed. You can notice it, breathe, move on. Like I said, think about your thoughts like you would think about a 5-year-old child. Like, here's that thought again. Oh yeah, oh yeah. Or, that like a broken record. You're just like, oh yeah, here's that thought again. Here's that thought again, and just like let it go, man. Um, you can notice it, breathe, and move on. You're allowed to leave the thoughts unanswered. That's not avoidance. It's just wisdom, right? And so, yeah, your thoughts might get loud. They might get messy, intense, repetitive, but that's okay. Doesn't mean you're doing anything wrong. Doesn't mean you're broken. You are not your mind. You are something steadier. You're the part of you that's learning how to stop getting dragged into every thought and just say, that's just my mind doing what it does. Honestly, that's where true peace really starts. So, this hits you at the right time. I'm glad you're here. I'm glad you're watching these videos. I hope that you can take some of this with you throughout your day. Again, the thoughts will come. Let them come. Let them go. You've got this. I'm gonna be making more videos soon about other topics, but um, please let me know if you'd like me to talk about anything. I hope you guys have a good day, and again, thank you for watching.